Good morning, everyone. My name is Cody Deneau. I'm in Section 9 for Professor Swick's Education as Agent for Change course. Um, I saw that there was an option to make a video for the newest and last opinion paper, and I felt like this was a good opportunity to kind of just check up on everybody, see how we're all doing, but and also to kind of talk and give you guys my perspective because I feel like in general, from a lot of students in my class, I feel like I'm a little bit above the general age, being 28 years old now. My birthday was March 12th, so I didn't really get to have a birthday. Well, I kind of did. Went out to dinner for board games with my wife, ate some food, went to a restaurant in Rockford called Hope and Anchor, had fish and chips, and then some spotted dick for dinner, which is like bread raisin pudding with custard. It was really good. But yeah, so I've got the prompts loaded right up in here on my computer, and I just kind of wanted to talk to the professor, and if he wants to share his video, he certainly can. About the opinion paper. So opinion paper 8 is basically about lessons we have learned from COVID-19 or coronavirus. Some have negatively named it Wuhan virus, but I'm not against labeling it that way because I feel like that's derogatory. Um, so yeah, we have two prompts we're responding to. The first prompt is what lessons have we learned? Basically, that prompt is going to be me diving into how we have gained experience with medicine, politics, society in general during this pandemic now. And then the second topic for the opinion paper is how do you think we should change? That's going to be diving into the things that we can do to fix ourselves, our communities, and slowly have an impact on the world. Now, I'm going to begin with what lessons we have learned. And throughout this semester, and in COVID 19 specifically, I feel that we have learned how to spread information very rapidly, and a lot of it is disinformation. There's a lot of biased media out there. I don't know if you guys are well aware of that, but there's media that is publicly funded and sourced by the liberal and conservative parties of the United States government. I tend to ignore those. I tend to ignore things like Fox News. Some articles from New York Times are pretty biased towards the left. Fox News has been kind of more lenient towards the right, but I tend to look at world news. I tend to read things like BBC, for news specifically, just because they do a very good job of covering worldwide news and they're very unbiased in their opinions and their concerns, and they use like facts and evidence versus more opinion, but they certainly do publish opinion pieces. I also feel, in my own life during this pandemic, I moved to Rockford. My wife, she's a physical therapist assistant full time. So she's been dealing with taking care of the elderly in two senior housing homes in Rockford. And she has to get a health screening every day because if she has COVID-19 and gives it to any of their patients, oh boy, it is not going to be good for them and her and the clinics as well. But I feel like we've also learned how to in this time specifically care for each other. I see a lot of outreach on Facebook. A lot of my friends have been reaching out to me, asking me how I'm doing. I'm currently looking for jobs. I'm gonna have after this week about 5 or 6 interviews. So I'm just doing 2 applications a day, and just I've been getting interviews lately, so it's been good. But just being able to be there for your family and a neighbor, people that you've been really close to before the stay-at-home order, I've read that you were able to keep contact with them because you've been in close proximity to them before the stay-at-home order was made and the whole, self-quarantine. Thankfully, none of my family or my close friends that I have been seeing regularly have caught COVID-19. I've only seen family since the stay-at-home order. But, excuse me, I need some coffee. Give me 1 second while I move over. Yeah, this is my cock cup, rooster cup, from my aunt as a wedding gift. But anyways, I digress. And I also feel like we've learned how to be more frugal in this time, specifically with money. A lot of shopping has kind of receded in Rockford, I've noticed. I don't see a lot of people out anymore. In my own life, we've been eating out less, and we have been cooking at home more. We have bought chalkboards off of Amazon that we have stuck up with command strips, and we write on there every week the meals we're having. We plan 2 weeks at a time. We try to at least, and we have days for leftovers, and then we have brunch on Saturdays, whatever. But the final thing that I believe that we have learned is we have learned how to distance ourselves from other people as well. And I say that in the senses in two ways. I say that we have learned to distance ourselves from people because of the stay-at-home order. The whole you have to stay at home, go out only when you need necessities, or you have to go to work. In the case of my wife, and I'm sure some of you have essential jobs. Um, and then and the second way is it's unhealthy, and I've been a victim to it this pandemic, and that is that you dig yourself a hole and you literally just push yourself away from people, and that's bad. Um, I've read online from a couple scholarly articles published by Harvard, their medical institution, some from I believe it was University of Wisconsin Madison, that isolation can be addicting. So we just have to remember that we have people that we can reach out to during this time. You have to take the steps, kind of like in class. You have to take the steps to get your work done. I know, I there's been a couple assignments I may or may not have missed. I'm not proud to admit that, but that's life. You forget stuff. You got a lot going on. But I've missed only a handful, but I'm fine. And I'm sure other people have done that too. Just reach out and ask for help and talk to people and get those brain juices flowing. So enough of my rambling. We're gonna go and talk about how do you think we should change. This is a very controversial, in my opinion, topic to discuss for an opinion paper because I feel like there's many people that have been brought up one way, have been brought up another way. So their opinions on things are going to be very different, and I really like hearing those opinions, except when they're bad and negative and evil in retrospect. But I haven't dealt with that a lot personally in my life. How do you think we should change? I think we should change in three ways. Three ways specifically we should change. The first way we should change is we should support small businesses that remain open during this pandemic and after the pandemic. A lot of small businesses and microbreweries typically are now doing curbside orders, and some of them are not making food anymore. Some of them are resorting to gift cards. And I feel like if you want to help your local economy, your local community, and you want to make sure that these people have jobs to look forward to after the pandemic is done, and we've all self-quarantined, and this coronavirus has died down, which is probably not going to be for several more months, probably into 2021, then I feel like we should start really channeling our money less from the big businesses and more into the mom and pop shops. I'm looking at a couple breweries in Rockford right now. There's the Magpie brunch restaurant that's really good off of State Street. Just a lot of stuff out there. Don't go to McDonald's. See what's available online. And then my second way that I think we should change is I feel like we should be more personable and we should be more appreciative of each other, especially during this pandemic and after. There's a lot of naysaying and negativity on social media, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Google Plus isn't a thing anymore, but it was awesome when it was around. There's just a lot of trash talking with politics and what people think of COVID-19. Is it a hoax? Is it a scam? Someone died. I'm not going to go into my opinion about COVID-19 because that's not what I'm here for. I'm to go in the opinion on how I think we should change. And being more compassionate is the second way I think we should change. And the third way I think we should change is we should eat healthier. I think that we should consistently add fruits and vegetables to our diet. We should take multivitamins, vitamin C pills. We need to keep ourselves good to show others around us the benefits of staying good. And you can do more than just eat healthy. My wife and I, we do a 30-minute workout online. We do that 5 days a week now. We go in the living room when she's home from work and I'm done with my schoolwork, and we do a 30-minute workout. Sometimes it's high-intensity interval training. Sometimes it's yoga. And, since this whole quarantine, I've gone down 2 belt sizes, and it's not easy. You're going to want to, there are some days where you're going to want to give up and not do anything, but you can't do that. And I just want to say, I don't know if this is okay. I'm going to do it anyways, but, I feel like a third opinion for this is you should take the time to thank your professors, especially you, Gary Swick. You've been a beacon of positivity during COVID-19. You've been there to answer emails. You've been popping in, chiming in, leaving messages for us to read. You know, not every professor's doing that. I've only heard from my biology professor 4 times since March, and it's almost May. You know, just let your professors know that you appreciate how they've quickly adapted to the challenges of COVID-19, and just give them a shout out, give them an email saying, hey, I don't know if you're going to read this or not, but thanks. And that's it for opinion paper number 8. So if it's good, awesome. If it's not good, I liked making this video. So yeah, I will see you guys later.